Hello there, this one's called First Impressions. I discovered a very long time ago that the first 24 hours of being in a different country has a very profound and powerful effect upon my consciousness as I become heightened sense of awareness about what is different, what is new, what are the changes. And so I'm in that state of heightened awareness now because of being where I am, and I'm sure you recognize it. So this is what I want to speak about. I now have a different understanding about the consequences of wearing masks because of my experiences in Tenerife. And I've been out and I've been into the town, just on the edge of the town actually, and to the sea, and get in the sea and have a swim. And doing that has been a shocking experience, so I want to explain to you why. It's because I realise what mask wearing has actually done to me. It has changed me in a way that I find intensely disturbing. And I can only put it this way: wearing a fucking mask is evil, and that's going to seem like a really strong statement. I'm not going to talk about any of the things people normally talk about. I'm not interested in any of the medical things or the scientific things. I want to talk about emotional, because what I discovered when I was walking through the town is that I was walking close to people. No one had a mask on. I didn't see a single human being outside wearing a mask. None. Which meant I could see people's faces. But the thing is, I'd actually forgotten how to be with people when I see their faces. And I've learned how to be a different way, which I find intensely disturbing. So what happens when you live in a society where everybody wears masks outside is it's such a powerful way to make a cut-off. It literally cuts me off from my humanity and my ability to connect with the humanity of other people, because all I can see is their eyes. I can't see the rest of their face, so I can't read any of their facial cues or expressions. It's all completely gone. So what I discovered when I was walking just to the sea and back just now is that when I got close to people, I suddenly found myself dropping my eyes to the ground, so I couldn't look at the person directly. That was disturbing. And then when I was actually in the sea, I was swimming quite close to a couple, and the woman looked at me, and I felt disturbed, and I looked away from her as if I was doing something wrong, that I could see her whole face. Now, doesn't this sound insane? Well, it is. It's completely crazy. But this is the effect of having spent 6 weeks away from all this normal human contact, which I've always regarded to be my birthright and just how life is. And then on my way back from the beach, there was a man who was sunbathing, 'cause it's a nice warm sunny day, and he looked directly at me, and I looked at him, and I thought, this is my first human-to-human interaction in terms of a stranger, a person that I don't know, seen face to face. And it reminded me of what happened yesterday at passport control, because there was an issue with one of our documentations, the thing you have to do online, and it hadn't gone through properly, and so we had to go over somewhere and do that, and none of the people at passport control wore masks, and I felt a kind of a mild sense of excitement at seeing a uniformed official not wearing a mask and having a human-to-human interaction whereby I could see the expression on the guy's face. He could see the expression. No, he couldn't see the expression on my face, because at the point of my progress to the airport, I was actually wearing a fucking mask myself. He couldn't see what was going on with me, but I could see what was going on with him, so I got to experience that little interaction, which was also fascinating. And there was a particular point when he asked me to take my mask off. Well, of course he did that because he needed to see what I looked like, because I was at passport control showing him my passport. It shows how dumb I've become that I could stand there at passport control showing my passport. You couldn't see my face. To compare it against a passport, it's ridiculous, isn't it? But from the moment he asked me to take my mask off, that was it. That mask did not go back on. And we spent maybe 15-20 minutes getting the administration sorted out, going back and forth to passport control, not wearing the mask. It's like first taste of being able to be human again. But my point is this: I actually don't know how to be with people in the street anymore. I've lost my ability to interact with people in the normal sense of doing so, because that's what it does when you wear a mask, like I've been doing for the last 6 weeks outside anywhere in the public place. What it does to you is it disconnects you from other people. It disconnects you from your humanity. This is what it's done to me. And it has given me this really rather horrible attitude of, well, I'm just not recognizing the humanity in the other person. So I'm going out into the town, into the streets, and I'm realizing I need to learn how to be with people where you can see their faces, because I've forgotten how to do it. This all is completely normal, natural thing. So I need to learn how to look people in the eye. I need to learn how to smile at people. I need not to be the way I've been all the time I've been away. So quite shocking. That's how I feel. And this really is first impressions. So that's the biggest first impression I'm getting, is actually learning how to be with people face to face. And then the second thing, which is, I just glance over because it's a funny thing, but this is a thing that I notice also. I've been used to being in a place where there's been no rain for quite a considerable period of time. I think there might have been a little bit of rain maybe after I was there for a week, but it's a long period of time where there's been no rain in the atmosphere. And that has a really big effect on the air and on my perception visually. Because when I look outside now, as I'm just glancing at the view outside, and when we were driving back from the airport looking at the clouds in the sky, it's like there's something about the air there is so crisp and sharp. And it's because what's happened is that the normal dust particles you are always going to get in air are eliminated every time it rains. So this has a really big impact on your environment. So if you're in an environment where it rains, what happens is every time the rain falls, any dust in the air gets literally dragged down by the water droplets, and it leaves the air clean and sparkling and a sense of brightness. Whereas when you're in an environment where it doesn't rain, what happens is it fills with dust and you don't notice it unless, and I've explained this in the films before, we have the thing in Tenerife called the Kalima, and that's when the Sahara Desert comes over with the sands and the Sahara wind, and then the visibility becomes so low that you can't actually see in the distance at all, and that's a completely different thing. But it's a surprise to realize that when the air is frequently washed by rain, it makes it extraordinarily beautiful. So these are my insights. So I now realize I'm going to have to learn how to be with people in a culture and an environment where people don't wear masks in the street. That's going to be amazing. And I've just got to learn how to do it, and it won't take long. But I can now see that that is one aspect of mask wearing that I've not seen mentioned anywhere in any posts on Facebook, social media, anywhere. It's corrosive to the soul. That's what it is. It corrodes the soul and it erodes the humanity. That's the long-term effect of wearing masks. So it's so good to be somewhere where I don't need to do that anymore when I'm outside. Brilliant. Thank you very much.